Hey everybody, this is Randy with Carchaeology. And this past Saturday, I went down to the local Cars and Coffee in Temecula, California. Now, this is a first Saturday of the month activity that's put on by the Temecula Valley Motoring Enthusiasts. And there's always a wide variety of cars that show up at this event. You get your American muscle, of course. You get some foreign stuff as well. There's a big Corvette club in Temecula area, so you always get a bunch of vets. Of course, your typical new Mustangs and an occasional exotic like this Lamborghini. And it's neat to see the variety of it parked next to this amazing Deuce with a big blown Hemi in it. It's always a fun event, and it's kind of neat because it is a fairly affluent area, and so you see a whole variety of different cars. The weather's always really nice. It's super cool. You get your old farm trucks with the dogs in them. You get your wild exotics and all sorts of stuff. And it's always a treat. It's not a huge event. It's a really mellow event. It's right near the big Temecula Mall. And people are pretty well behaved, which is really quite nice. It was a beautiful morning and a little crisp getting down there in the morning, but the variety was well worth the trip. Check out this crazy hood scoop on this Plymouth. Hemi, baby. Gotta love it. Check out this crazy Grand Prix with the big turbo on it. This is definitely not your normal poncho. Not a stock machine, but absolutely beautiful. Anyway, it's great. This car is a regular, really nice little Mercedes Pagoda. Beautiful color combination. This Mercedes is also a local car that I see an awful lot. This car has run on the Targa California event several times. It's hopped up pretty strong. It'll give the Porsche guys a run for their money. And it's just badass. Volkswagens, of course, you always get a variety of those. The local club, Hercooled, is a very active one in the Temecula area. And there's always a variety of those cars that show up. This car really blew my mind when I first saw it. It's a Datsun 510 that's been wildly freaked out, full race spec. It's got your harnesses, your Sparco seats, and then around front, this is obviously not a stock 510. Really, really awesome car. It had a little logo on it that said Crude 510. Later on, I talked with the owner of that car. He actually bought it the way that it is. I think it was on the East Coast somewhere, and he brought it out here, and it's just kind of using it as a fun driver. Gorgeous early Bronco, Guapo 69, restored to a real high level. Some modernization to it, different seats and things like that. Not sure what was under the hood, but beautifully done. Old Bronco. This Mazda RX-7, I believe that's the original owner that has this car, a lady owner, and she shows up at these events. And the thing is absolutely spotless. It's the GSL edition. The Mazda emblem was a little crooked there, but Porsches, of course, lots of Porsches in Southern California. This was a cool J-Spec right-hand drive car, Nissan of some sort here, pretty trick, or Datsun, I guess, maybe. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, this is my neighbor. My neighbor Brian and his Uncle Randy in his really killer autocross car. Anyway, this monster here was cool. I caught this new Targa with its top in action. That looks like something that would be expensive to repair if it ever got out of whack, but it sure operated beautifully. And that color combination of the white with the red interior, that was a really, really, really pretty car. Big fan of that. Here's my buddy Brian, the neighbor Brian's Chevelle or Malibu. He autocrosses this thing. He races it. He's got some big fat meats on it, constantly improving upon it. It is fast, furious, and it handles like crazy. In fact, he won the championship this year with this, and this is a car that he drives to the track and is always running up and down the valley doing testing and tuning. Brand new Corvette in a really obnoxious bright color, which you gotta love. Let's see, this was pretty interesting, little shades of the Tiger King. Here's a Ford GT40 that rolled in. Sweet little notchback. There's my friend Sebastian departing early with his beater bug that he calls Clementine. This Power Wagon rolled in with the lady driving it. Absolutely killer beast of a truck. Really awesome, fully restored, absolutely spotless. Big worn winch on the front, the chains, the big off-road wheels and tires. It sounded pretty beefy rolling into the place, and it looked like it was fresh off the showroom floor. Far better than you could ever imagine a Power Wagon being. But man, it was just awesome truck. And parked there amongst the VWs, it really stood out. It was kind of fun. She showed us the interior of the truck. Sounds like it's a fairly awkward thing to drive, but you make it happen when you got a truck like this. A Ferrari Dino showed up. That was a pretty amazing car. Here's a Pantera. Those are always fun to see. This one was restored to fairly stock specs, which was really nice to see. I've seen a few of these are customized, and I think they're pretty cool just the way they are. Cool kind of 50s style custom bomb rolling through here. Here's another new Vet rolling by. Lots of those starting to roll around on the streets out here. The Studebaker truck, I love this thing. This guy rolls all around town with it. It's just got the most amazing patina, and it's a fun counterpoint to all of the shiny stuff that shows up at the event, and his very well-behaved dog sitting in there as well. It's just awesome. I love that truck. Here's my ride for the day. This is my 68 Myers-Manx buggy. I brought it out. And it was fun to show it to folks, and this is the second time I've had this car out. Definitely an eye catcher. Nice variety here, some GM products. You got your Vet on the left, and you got your Lowrider Regal on its gold Daytons with pumps, and then the Chevy Rally wheels. This Oldsmobile 88 was absolutely stellar. Not only was it the biggest thing I've ever seen, it had the Continental kit on the back with that bumper extension that you could almost put lawn chairs on. Just absolutely insane 50s styling. The dashboard, I mean, God, what a car this thing is. This car was sitting on air ride. It did have functional air conditioning, which was cool. So very classic look to the outside of it with a couple of modern touches, and it was stellar. Here's a cool little Chevy 2, little Nova with a blower hanging out the hood. It's kind of nice to see these hot rods next to some of the modern muscle that's there. This thing was a pretty serious street machine, and down underneath it, it had some big fat meats. Absolutely wicked ride, and really nicely done. Super clean car. Here was a Subaru powered Speedster kit car that looked pretty awesome. This is a wide body kit. I'm not a huge fan of those, but if you're going to put the kind of horsepower in it that Subaru motor has in it, kind of makes sense. And it was slick. Nice Pontiac Grand Prix. Here's a 69 RS Camaro. That was beautiful. The owner of this car kept on walking over to the dune buggy and checking it out and saying how beautiful it is. And when I went and saw his Camaro, I took that compliment quite seriously because he has a beautiful car. Anyway, definitely a neat variety of stuff. Here's the dude with his Regal getting ready to roll out. Fun to see that car roll in. He kind of was quiet, kept to himself. And then when he got it up and running, I, of course, had to catch a little video of this thing rolling. There's not a whole lot of lowriders that cruise through Temecula. Occasionally you'll get a group that'll come up from San Diego. This car was really clean, just fun to see, and it really stood out in the crowd amongst all the other machines. Anyway, fun trip. It was great to bring the buggy out, great to see all of these cars. Temecula Valley Motoring Enthusiasts actually brought out a pair of these Ford GT40s, which was pretty awesome. And these two people were not related, which was kind of fun. There was a lady driving this particular car and a guy driving the one that she was parked next to. And it would have been fun to see them leave together, but that didn't happen. But a real treat to see two of these cars in one spot, and both of them just downright perfect. Fun car. Anyway, neat details, neat stuff. Here's another quick little walk around of that Wild 510. My neighbor Brian with the autocross Malibu was trying to talk this guy into coming out to some of the autocross events and running this car on the track, which it was obviously built to do. And this guy hasn't done that. He just uses it as a cruiser, and it's nice and quiet and sounded really tame. But obviously, looking at that engine, looking at the suspension, looking at the way that this thing is set up, this is a track terror. And it sounds like he is going to bring it out to one of the autocross events and run it on the track. And my guess is that won't be his only time doing it. What a rad little car. So there you go. Temecula Valley Motoring Enthusiasts, first Saturday of the month cruise. Check it out if you can. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.